Hi, welcome to this edition of Connections. I'm Christy Naus with the Community Foundation, and you know I love to help you know more about what's going on with our nonprofit sector in the greater Des Moines area, and we have a really special edition today. I'm here with my friend and nonprofit colleague, Impact colleague,
That's right,
Andrew?
You got it.
Andrew Allen with YSS, and we're in a really special location today. This is the Ember Recovery Campus that is being built to help fulfill the mission of your organization. Do you want to tell us a little more about this space and what it will do?
That's right. So grateful for the support that we got from the Community Foundation and so many other community partners. This is Ember Recovery Campus, and I've been saying that it represents Iowa's largest investment in children's behavioral health in a generation. So 70 beds of substance use disorder treatment, emergency shelter, crisis stabilization for Iowa's youth, and finally a space, facilities that are commensurate with the level of care. So we are so excited to introduce it to Iowa.
Yeah, not just the level of care, but what our kids deserve, right? I mean, This is really special. What will happen here? So you said 70 youth will be served. You mentioned shelter, you mentioned substance abuse recovery. Talk a little more about what makes this different than some of the other things that have been available to Iowa in the past.
Yeah, you got it. YSS has been doing emergency shelter for almost 50 years. We've been doing substance use disorder treatment. So a lot of times I say, while my title is president and CEO, my most important title is alumnus. This is the program that saved my life when I was 17 years old. And we've been operating out of old houses. So very residential and homey, which has been great, but right in the middle of town. And the buildings are worn and it's just not the right tool for the job anymore. So as we thought about how could we do treatment and shelter better, we sure thought about the space and the buildings, and to have more than 50 acres, nature-based, intentionally built, trauma-informed, and really experiential gives us the tool to support what is a crisis right now as it relates to youth mental health and the substance use disorder and overdose deaths. So this is going to be an answer to all of the questions as it relates to how can Iowa better serve its youth.
Absolutely. I'm so glad you're here in this space to do that important work. As you know from watching past Connections videos, the Community Foundation has also really invested in some of the changes that are happening along the 6th Avenue corridor. And one of your projects is definitely one of those changes. And we invested in 6th Avenue Flats. Can you talk just a little more about what that project was?
So proud as I think about the work that YSS does. One of the things that we lean into is being comprehensive. So it's everything from prevention services like mentoring and education within classrooms to treatment like you have here. And then the support that we're providing from a transitional standpoint for youth who are aging out of foster care, who are homeless or near homeless. And there are many projects that YSS takes on where neighbors are saying, hey, maybe not in my backyard. We picked what was one of the most difficult, impoverished, parts of the city of Des Moines on 6th Avenue and said, we want to plant our stake here and serve the community there. And a project that got national recognition for partnership between the state, leveraging tax credits, DMET Community College, Rob Denson was involved, and YSS to provide housing to transition age youth who have been in foster care, are homeless or near homeless. And so a 42-unit apartment complex that's really a crown jewel, kind of anchoring the south edge of the 6th Avenue corridor. The apartment filled up quickly, and the Community Foundation helped us fund and furnish an office in the corner to provide mental health therapy and counseling to our residents and the community at large.
That was one of my favorite parts of that project too, is just walkable mental health care. Not just for the residents of the complex, but also the neighborhood. And so thank you for stepping up to provide that. If you had, you do have a minute to share a big dream that you have for YSS. What's something that you'd want our listeners to know?
This is the big dream. This has been 6 years in the making. This has taken significant investment from organizations like the Community Foundation, many private donors, some public entities. And as I think about treatment for youth, I do think it's prevention. So we're preventing people from becoming, chronically addicted to drugs and alcohol, pursuing recovery at an early age. It is my story, right? I've had the opportunity to work for Principal Financial Group in a leadership role and now lead the organization that saved my life. But if we can get to kids early with treatment, we can change the course of their lives. Let's work upstream even further. A mental health crisis, depression and anxiety at epidemic levels, suicidal ideation, and overdose deaths, all impacting our youth. And so can we think about prevention and early intervention? In every school in Iowa, every young person with access to prevention services, early intervention services, to be sure that they get the help that they need. We don't want things to have to become a crisis right before somebody steps up and says, hey, can we provide some support? So this is the big dream, Ember Recovery Campus. We've got a lot of work just to get this operational over the next year. But as I think about what's next, and I think about where your listeners and the state of Iowa can really spend their time and energy and resources, is working upstream, prevention and early intervention, giving every young person the same opportunity that I had, and the 7,000 other kids across the state of Iowa who need treatment each year need.
Yeah, giving hope, opportunity, and prevention. That's a big dream I think we can all embrace. Thanks for the work that you do, Andrew, the very critical work for our youth. We are most certainly better together in our community because of your work. Thank you.
Thank you.